Natation Canada tient à remercier ses partenaires. The Government of Canada, le gouvernement du Canada. Speedo, your trusted swim partner from your first splash through every stroke. Speedo, votre partenaire de natation de confiance, de votre premier saut dans l'eau à chaque traction. Bell for better and all the ways it gives back to communities and sport across Canada. Mieux pour tous et toutes les façons dont Bell redonne aux communautés et au sport dans tout le Canada. Chicken Farmers of Canada, proud supporter and official protein of Swimming Canada. Les producteurs de poulets du Canada, fiers partisans et protéines officielles de Natation Canada.
Everybody a points update after 2 days of racing. Here at our 2026 Canadian Swimming Open, your top 10 teams. In 10th place, Grand Prairie, with a score of 212 points. 9th place, it's the Kelowna Aquajets with 230.5 points. Etobicoke Swim Club is next with 232 points in 8th place. 7th is Neptune with 239.5 points. The High Performance Center Quebec, as well as Kisu, are tied for 5th place with 316 points. UBC Thunderbirds are next. They are 4th with 329. Our top 3 teams now in 3rd with 355 points. Cascade Swim Club in 2nd with 366 points. University of Calgary. And in 1st place, leading the meet with 402.5 points, the Pointe Claire Swim Club. This morning we've got the 50-meter butterfly to begin with. That will be a para event, followed by the 100 butterfly, the 200 backstroke, the 100 breaststroke for para swimmers, the 200 IM, 200 freestyle for para, 100 breaststroke, 400-meter freestyle, before we finish off with both the para and Olympic 50-meter freestyle event. And our first event up this morning is going to be event number 5. This is the women's 50-meter butterfly for our para swimmers. We'll have one heat in this event. Madam Referee.
And they're off for the women's para 50 butterfly. In lane 2 from the Royal City Aquatic Club, Jordan Tucker. In lane 3 from the Grand Prairie Piranhas, Natalie Clark. Dans le couloir 4 du club de natation bleu et or, Danielle Doris. Dans le couloir 5 de l'équipe de natation de Cowansville, Juliane Pagé. Et dans le couloir 6 de l'Université Laval, Ariel Bélanger.
And Doris, our top seed in the lane number 4, 33.81 is her entry time, 34.98 on the clock. Our first swimmer in heat number 1. This will be our only heat of the women in the 50-meter butterfly. Event summary shortly for the 50-meter butterfly, event 317 for our para women. There it is on the board. Top qualifier, Danielle Doris, time 34.98. To our next event, which is event number 318. This is the men's 50-meter butterfly, para, and this will be heat number 1 of 1. Mr. Referee.
Dans le couloir 3 du club de natation Région Québec, Étienne Boutin-Côté. In lane 4 from the Pacific Sea Wolves, Sébastien Masabi. Et dans le couloir 5 du Centre de haute performance Québec, Tyson Jacob.
Masabi in lane number 4 is a Canadian record holder in the S5 category in this event. The Canadian record is his sea time 35.84. Masabi first to the wall in lane number 4, just over that record time, 36.64. Very strong swim this morning by Pacific Sea Wolf Sebastian Masabi. First to the wall here in our men's para 50-meter butterfly. The event summary for event 318. Top qualifier, Etienne Boutin-Côté, 52.01. Moving on to our next event, which is event number 223. It's a 100-meter butterfly for the women. We have 3 heats in this event. Heat number 1 of 3, Madam Referee.
they're off for this first heat of the women's 100-meter butterfly. This is your first circle-seated heat with Matea Jigovic from the Killarney Swim Club, your top seed in lane 4 with a time of 59:34. Coming into the wall at the turn, it'll be Jigovic followed closely behind by Taryn Weatherhead. Both swimmers under the 29-second mark here at the wall. With less than 25 meters to go, it's Jigovic and Weatherhead, both about a body length ahead of the rest of the field. And coming into the wall, it'll be Jigovic in a time of 1:00:63 to win this first heat of the women's 100-meter butterfly.
While we're waiting here, we do have disqualification to announce from event 317. Heat 1, lane 5 has been disqualified.
And we're off with our second heat of the women's 100-meter butterfly 2024 Paris Olympian Brooklyn Douthright in lane 4 from the Club Natation Bleuria with an entry time of 59:25. Coming into the wall at the turn, it'll be Douthright flipping at 28:39, followed closely behind by Rowan Biffert from the Alberta Marlins Aquatic Club. Less than 25 meters to go here in this second heat. Douthright comfortably in the lead. She will take home this heat in a time of 1:00:64. Go in our third and our final heat. Saw Gigovic and Douthright down at minute points earlier on. Gigovic was the winner of the event last year. 59:82 was her time. The meet record of 57:19 set by Maggie McNeil in 2024. Top seed in our third and final heat, Taylor Ruck. She's broken a few meet records already this weekend. Appears to be in fine form as she goes through 26:84. That's more than a full second faster than we've seen so far this morning. Ruck, she's entered in a time of 59:61. And she is looking very good through the first 75 meters of this race. Taylor Ruck broke the meet record. That was formerly Summer McIntosh 100-meter freestyle last night.
Also broken the meet record in the 100-meter backstroke. See where she goes here as she finishes off. This is the fastest time this morning, 58:45, Taylor Ruck. Our top qualifier going into tonight's final for the women's 100-meter butterfly. The event summary on the board momentarily for the women's 100-meter butterfly, event number 23. And there it is, top qualifier, Taylor Ruck, 58:45, and 104.29 gets you into the A final. And 105.92 gets into the B final. Next event up is event number 24. This is the men's 100-meter butterfly. And we do have 3 heats again in this event. Mr. Referee.
And they're off for our first heat of the men's 100-meter butterfly. This is our first circle-seated heat with Eric Ginsberg from the Ramac Aquatic Club seated first in this heat with a time of 53:13. At the wall, it'll be Ginsberg splitting first with a time of 24:68. Canadian Swim Open record held by Finley Knox was set in Toronto in 2024 in a time of 52:47. See if Ginsberg can challenge that here within the last 10 meters. About a body length lead coming in the last 5 meters. It'll be Ginsberg in a time of 53:43.
Just have a short technical break here while we change out a touchpad. Swimmers, you can relax. They're going to be changing a pad. This one's going to be in lane number 3. You see the pit crew making their way out to the pool deck. The record they set last night actually was 37.8 seconds on the pad change. We're looking to see if they can challenge that now as the clock has started ticking. They are using some specialized equipment here. You can see those socket wrenches, both set and fitted with 10mm sockets. And more than 90 degrees of a turn as they get going and making their way. That is already 16 seconds. The clock is ticking away. Bit of a new crew in here today, mixing some experience and some veterans. You can see the pad is now being lifted up. We're at 30 seconds now. They've got about 8 seconds left to get that pad in and tie down. They're doing very well. It's going to be just off the record, but a fine morning performance here in the preliminaries for pad change in lane number 3. And getting the wires into the block. Just a few more twists of our wrench and we're done on the one side. And And here we go now with about a minute and 36, 37, 38, 1 minute and 40 seconds. And about 145. Solid performance this morning. Well done on the prelims here in this pad change. We'll look to see if we can improve upon that time later on tonight as we get going on our second heat of the men's 100-meter butterfly. Mr. Referee.
And they're off for our second heat of the men's 100-meter butterfly. Canadian Open record holder in lane 4, Finley Knox from the Okotoks Mavericks swimming with an entry time of 52:68, just off his record time of 52:47 set in Toronto a few years ago. Will he be able to challenge that? His opening time of 25:22, just a little bit off Ginsberg's opening time of 24:68. Tight bunch in the middle of the pool. Dylan Fernando, Rabin Doman out with Finley Knox. Knox separating himself a little bit here, about half a body length ahead, but Rabin Doman coming home very strong. Excited to try out that new touchpad. And at the wall, it'll be Finley Knox, 53:94.
Here we go in our third and final heat of the men's 100-meter butterfly. German national team, the swimmer Ole Idem in lane number 4, broke the meet record in the 50-meter butterfly last night. He's our top seed here this morning, 52:03. 53:43 was the fastest time we've seen so far this morning in this event. That was Eric Ginsberg in the first heat. Meet record again, as we've mentioned, 52:47. By Finley Knox 2 years ago, 24:15. The split time, our fastest first 50 out. Great underwater by Idem, right near the 15-meter mark as he's powering through to the 75 now. Ole Idem looking to put up our fastest time this morning. We'll see what he gets himself down to. Again, 52:09 is the sea time. 52:47 is the meet record. And it's going to be Idem to the wall. 52:39 and a new meet record time here in this 100-meter butterfly for our men. Ole Idem going into tonight's final in first here in the men's 100-meter butterfly. There's the event summary on the board. Idem first, the time at 52:39. Swimming for the University of Michigan. 56:32 qualifies for the A final. And a 59:01 qualifies for our B. Next event now is event number 25. This is the women's 200-meter backstroke. And we do have 5 heats in this event. This will be heat number 1 of 5. Madam Referee.
And they're off for our first heat of the women's 200-meter backstroke. Fastest entry time, Charlie Yorston from the Cascade Swim Club in a time of 2:27.70. Off to a solid start here. All swimmers lined up as they come into the first wall here at the turn. It will be Charlie Yorston, a time of 33.60. Yorston about half a body length on the rest of the field as she comes in here at the halfway mark at a 1:10.48, followed by Cassandra Wong in a time of 1:11.91. Flipping for the last 50 here, still Yorston ahead in a time of 1:48.82. Coming into the last 5 meters here, Yorston over a body length ahead. She will touch the wall to win this heat in a time of 1:26.98. And they're off for our second heat of 5 of the women's 200-meter backstroke. Fastest qualifier in this heat, Riley Greenfield from Pacific Coast Swimming. She's qualified in a time of 2:16.25 short course meters. Bit of a mix here in this heat between some short course meter qualifying time in the middle of the pool and some long course meter qualifying time in lanes 0, 1, 2, 7, 8, and 9. Bit of an unpredictable race here. But Peyton Pitts from the Kingston Blue Marlins will be flipping first in a split time of 32.58. Pitts developing a solid lead here as we get to the halfway point. She will flip in a time of 1:09.08, about a second and a half faster than Yorston's split from the previous heats. Eva Jubert from from Etobicoke Swim Club in lane 0, sitting in second right now, her split of 1:10.71. Pitt slipping in 1:46.72 at the 150 mark. Riley Greenfield moving up, now in second in a 1:48.24. Tight race here coming into the wall. And it's going to be Lucy Weens from the Okotoks Maverick touching in a time of 1:24.87 to take the second heat of the women's 200-meter backstroke. And they're off for our third heat of the women's 200-meter backstroke. This is the first of our circle-seated heat. Bridget Burton, your top qualifier from the UBC Thunderbirds. She's qualified in a time of 2:14.67. Paris 2024 Olympian Emma O'Croynan in lane 5, also from the UBC Thunderbirds. She's qualified in a time of 2:15.51. At the wall flipping first, it'll be Bridget Burton in a time of 32.22, followed closely behind by Hannah Rutten and Emma O'Croynan, both flipping in 32.8s. Burton solidly in the lead here as we come into the first wall, the 100-meter flip turn. She'll be flipping first in a time of 1:06.75, fastest first 100-meter that we've had so far today. Rutten still in second in a split of 1:07.60. Burton still in the lead as we come to the 150 meter mark, 150 to go. She split in a 1:41.61, extending her lead here over the rest of the field. Less than 10 meters to go. O'Krinen making a little bit of a move here, but it'll be all Burton touching the wall. First, 1:17.97, followed closely behind by Hannah Redden, 1:17.99. Everyone got off well here in our fourth heat, second circle-seated heat of the women's 200 meter backstroke. Fastest qualifier, Olive Rogers from the Etobicoke Swim Club. Her entry time, 2:14.54. At the 50 meter mark, it'll be Rogers, 31:52. First 50 split. Fastest first 50 we've seen so far. Rogers already almost a body length across over the rest of the field as we come into the 100 meter mark. 1:05.62. First 1:05 opening 100 we've seen so far. Rogers extending her lead. En deuxième position dans cette série, Eve Labrie de Neptune Natation. Son premier 100 mètres, un temps de passage de 1:07.01. Rogers flipping here in a time of 1:40.75. Less than a 50 to go with a comfortable body length lead ahead of the rest of the pack. Eve Labrie, toujours en deuxième dans cette série avec un temps de 1:42.79. Strong showing here from Rogers, looking in control as she comes into the last 5 meters of the race. She will take this heat in a time of 2:15.91.
We go in our third and our final heat of the 200-meter backstroke for the women. Our top seed is in lane number 4, Ingrid Wilm, coming in with an entry time of 2:10.11. Time she did at the World Championships last summer in Singapore. First time she raced that event at the World Championships. We've seen 2:15.91. That was done in the previous heat. Olive Rogers, the 17-year-old from Etobicoke Swimming. Out first through the 50, it's Ella Jansen, also from Etobicoke, 31.90, 0.5 of a second up on Wilm. Lanes 3, 4, and 5 together through the 75-meter mark. Wilm now starting to pick it up in lane number 4. Jansen's coming in. She's a seat time of 2:15.61. Meet record in this event set 2 years ago. Delia Lloyd, a time of 2:11.95. As they go through the 100-meter mark, it's now Leah Nugent out in 1:05.98, the 10th of a second up on Jansen and Wilm. Pool record set in 2018 by Kylie Moss, a time of 2:08.94. And Jansen now edging her way out in front by a half body length on both Wilm and Nugent as they come to the 150-meter mark. Jansen is in strong form. She was right on her best time, winning the 200-meter freestyle on our first night. Turns at 1:40.21. She should be able to challenge that seat time of hers of 2:15.92. She holds onto this pace. Nugent starting to move up in lane number 5. And Ingrid Wilm sitting comfortably back in third place. Nugent now with the lead just up on Jansen. They've got 15 meters left to go in this race. It's lanes 3 and 5, Ella Jansen and Leah Nugent. See if they get under the 2:15.9 done in the previous heat. As we come to the finish, it is Ella Jansen underneath her seat time, winning this heat by 2/100ths of a second, 2:14.73. Over Leah Nugent, and Ingrid Wilm in for third in lane number 4 in our final heat of our women's 200-meter backstroke. Have it. Top qualifier for tonight's final, Ella Jansen, 2:14.73. 2:19.03 qualifies for our A final. And 2:23.54, it's a tie for 19th and 20th spot, will qualify for the B final. On to our next event, which is event number 26. It's the men's 200-meter backstroke. This event also has 5 heats. This will be heat number 1 of 5. Mr. Referee.
Two swimmers in this opening heat of the men's 200-meter backstroke. Dans le couloir 4 de Montréal-Nord Natation, Colin Simard a le temps d'inscription le plus rapide en 2:22.06 en bassin long. And in lane 5, Regan Peace from Olympian Swim Club. He has the second seated entry time in 2:08.51, a short course entry time. He will be flipping first in a time of 29.72. Colin Simard, pour le moment en deuxième position, son premier 50, un temps de 32,38. He's flipping here at the 100-meter mark. His opening 100, 1:03.60. Suivi de Colin Simard dans un temps de 1:07.80. At the 150-meter mark, it is Peace in a time of 1:39.87, suivi de Colin Simard, 1:45.34, son temps de passage aux 150 mètres. Less than 25 meters to go here in our opening heat. It is all Regan Peace as he comes into the last 5 meters. He will finish first in this opening heat in a time of 2:17.60. Onto our second heat of the men's 200-meter backstroke. Top entry time in lane 4, Wesley Halls from the Orangeville Otter Swim Club. He's entered in a time of 2:05.97 short course. Alex Lim in lane 5 from the Olympian Swim Club. He's also entered in a short course time, 2:06.09. But it'll be Mick Aldred from the Grand Prairie's Piranha, fifthing first in a time of 30.84 in the opening 50 of the second heat of the men's 200-meter backstroke, followed by Wesley Halls, 31.06. Another lead change here at the 100-meter mark. James Ford from Whitby Swimming, flipping first at the 100 in a 1:04.59. Followed closely by Wesley Hall's 1:05.01. Ford extending his lead here. He'll flip first at the 150-meter mark, 1:38.94. Followed by Halls at 1:39.71. Both swimmers still splitting under 35 seconds in this 200-meter backstroke. Ford comfortably in the lead here. He will take this second heat in a time of 2:12.06. Now we move on to our third heat of the men's 200-meter backstroke. This is our circle-seated heat. First circle-seated heat, top qualifier. It's your top entry time, lane 5. Julio Giannese from Island Swimming. He's entered in a time of 2:04.73. But it'll be Windsor Aquatic Club's Shinkleshuk in lane 6, who will flip first for the first 50 meters, 28.76. Looking very comfortable heading into the first 100-meter mark here. Let's all remember 200 back, grueling race. Never know what'll change when the legs start cramping at the end of the race. Shinkleshuk out 1:00.04, just over that 1 minute mark here in the opening 100 of his 200-meter backstroke, followed by Giannese in lane 5, 1:01.68. Shinkleshuk still ahead here at the 150-meter mark, 1:33.54. Giannese reeling him in a little bit, splitting in a 1:33.87. Giannese now has taken the lead, almost a body length and a half he's gained in this last 50, really coming in strong to the wall. He will take this heat in 2:05.09.
Going heat number 4, top qualifier, top seed in lane number 4. And Mark Danziger from Michigan broke the meet record in the 100-meter backstroke. It's done on night number 1. He's entered at the sea time at 1:57.82. Head to Parker DeHaze in lane at number 5. He was on the podium last night in the 50-meter backstroke. Danziger out 29.0 on the first 50, 2:05.09 done in the last heat. Stands as our top time through 3 of 5 heats of this men's 200-meter backstroke. Danziger looking steady, more in the full body length up on the field as he comes up to the halfway point in lane number 4. Turning at 1:00.27, looking very relaxed, nice and smooth on his underwater, out almost to the 15-meter mark. The second is Matty Pasternak, swimming in lane number 2 from Crest, followed by Parker DeHaze in lane at number 5. Last wall for Danziger in lane number 4. Splitting very evenly, 30.4 on that 50. Winning time in this event last year was done by Blake Tierney, a time of 2:02.54. And it looks like Danziger is going to be underneath that event-winning time from last year. The record is set in 2024 by Ethan Eck, a time of 1:59.22. Not going to get down to that, but Danziger, solid swim this morning, 2:02.52, winning heat number 4.
All swimmers off well in this last and fastest heat of your men's 200-meter backstroke. Top entry time in lane 4, Blake Tierney from the Saskatoon Goldfinns. He's entered in a time of 1:55.03, which is also your Canadian record time, which he set in Singapore last summer. He will have the fastest opening 50 in a time of 28:40. Tierney last night tried to beat the Mark Spitz 50 fly record. No cap, no goggles, and a training suit. Took a little bit of a more conservative approach today in his 200 back. Don't think that would have been as fun, no cap, no goggles. He'll be first here at the 100-meter mark, 59:47. Jacques Harrison just behind him, 1:00:31. Both swimmers training at the High Performance Center, Vancouver. Your Canadian Swim and Open record, 1:59.22, set by Ethan Eck in Toronto 2 years ago. Tierney turning here, 1:31.20. Harrison not far behind him, 1:31.95. Both swimmers looking quite controlled here as we come into the last 25 meters. Stroke for stroke, Tierney with a little bit of a lead. He will take this final heat of the men's 200-meter backstroke, 2:03.07. That was our last heat of the men's 200-meter backstroke. We'll wait here for the results to be official and to see the summary of the results. Your top qualifier for tonight's final, Inbar Danziger. 10th place qualifying time was a 2:09.37 to make the A final. And to make the B final, 2:13.03. Up next, we have our women's 100 breaststroke para multi-class. There will be 2 heats of this event. In our first heat of the women's 100-meter breaststroke para-multi-class, dans le couloir 1 de l'équipe natation Cowansville, Jillian Pagé. In lane 2 from the Barrie Trojan Swim Club, Alessa Darby. In lane 3 from the Saskatoon Lasers, Shelby Newkirk. In lane 4 from the Nakakita Aquatic Club, our birthday girl, McKenna Davis. Dans le couloir 5 de l'Université Laval, Arielle Bélanger. In lane 6 from the Grand Prairie Piranhas, Natalie Clark. In lane 7 from the Vernon Kokanee Swim Club, Bria Duncan. And in lane 8 from the Royal City Aquatic Club, Ruby Stevens. McKenna Davis first to the wall in a time of 45:65. Davis competes in the S9 classification. En deuxième position au mur, Arielle Bélanger, un temps de passage de 54:10. Bélanger nage dans la classification S7. And Davis will finish first in a time of 1:39:34, which is just under her entry time of 1:39:64. Nice birthday swim here. Deuxième au mur, ça va être Arielle Bélanger, 1:55:53. This is our second and final heat of the women's 100-meter breaststroke para-multi-class. Dans le couloir 0 du Centre de Haute Performance Québec, Tess Rootliff. In lane 1 from the Orangeville Otters, Alyssa Smythe. In lane 2 from the Brock Niagara Aquatics, Emma Van Dyke. In lane 3 from Pacific Coast Swimming, Sophie Wood. In lane 4 from the Prince Albert Sharks, Ali Deal. In lane 5 from Pickering Swimming, Mary Jibb. Dans le couloir 6 de l'Université Laval, Marianne Leroux. In lane 7 from the Owen Sound Aquatic Club, Megan Calhoun. In lane 8 from the Saskatoon Lasers, Catherine McCurrick. And in lane 9 from the Barrie Trojan Swim Club, Kate Smith. Ali Deal, first year at the 50-meter mark, 41:23. Followed closely behind, suivi de proche par Marianne Leroux, un temps de passage de 42:06. Deal solidly in the lead here as we come into the wall. She will touch the wall in a time of 1:26.78. Suivi par Marianne Leroux qui touche le mur à un temps de 1:30.68. We'll wait here to see the official results. And as they calculate the scoring based on the international para points, to see who will qualify for our final tonight.
Result summary on the board now for event 319, 100-meter breaststroke for the women. Next up will be event number 320. It's a 100-meter breaststroke for our para multi-class swimmers. We have 2 heats in this event. Mr. Referee.
This is the first heat of the men's 100-meter para multi-class. Dans le couloir 3 du Centre de Haute Performance Québec, Reed Maxwell. In lane 4 from the Fort McMurray Swim Club, Hunter Hellberg. And in lane 5 from the Owen Sound Aquatic Club, Caleb Arndt. Reed Maxwell, a 2024 Paralympian. He's been competing all weekend, winning multiple medals, now trying his hand at the 100 breaststroke. But it'll be Caleb Arndt who flips first in 42.76, followed by Maxwell and Hellberg, both 44 mids. Shaping up to be a good race across the pool as they come into the last 25 meters here. Caleb Arndt will touch first, 1:31.81. And they're off in the second and final heat of your men's 100-meter breaststroke para multiclass. Dans le couloir 1 de Neptune Natation, Antoine Saint-Germain. In lane 2 from the Stettler Swim Club, David Bursick. In lane 3 from Olympian Swimming, Ken Stroud. Dans le couloir 4 du Centre de Haute Performance Québec, James Leroux. Dans le couloir 5 de McGill, Jack-Dev Gill. Dans le couloir 6 du Club de natation Mont-Laurier, Guillaume Jacob Caillé. In lane 7 from Kisu Swim Club, Cameron Chambers. And in lane 8 from the Golden Horseshoe Aquatic Club, Charles Giamicelli.
Attention coaches, swimmers and teams, we have disqualification to announce from event number 319. Again, event 319, heat 1, lane 6 has been disqualified.
At the wall, Gill flipped in first in a time of 34:50, followed closely by James Leroux, 35:33. Both these athletes compete in the S9 classification, so it's actually shaping up to be a comparable and exciting race. Coming into the wall, Leroux va toucher en premier avec un temps de 1:16:42, suivi de proche de Gill dans un temps de 1:16:98.
With our event summary for event number 320, the 100-meter breaststroke for our para men. Top 10 advancing to tonight's final.
I think it just This is our first heat of the women's 100-meter medley. Top entry time in this heat, Taylor Ferguson from the Point Claire Swim Club. She's entered in a time of 2:26:05. In the last heat of the men's 100-meter breaststroke para, nous avons vu un nouveau record canadien établi par Antoine Saint-Germain de Neptune Natation dans la catégorie S12. Félicitations, Antoine. At the wall here after the butterfly, Ferguson in the lead, 31:50. Followed by Anna Rideout, 32:72. After the first 100-meter, Taylor Ferguson, 1:08:03, and a rideout close behind, 1:10:82. Rideout strong breaststroke here, reeling in Ferguson. Only 50 meters left to go. Taylor Ferguson still in the lead, 1:55:52. Rideout solidly in second, 1:57:20. Ferguson's strong freestyle here as she comes into the wall. She will touch first in this heat in a time of 2:28.10. And they're in the water for your second heat of the women's 200-meter medley. Top seed in this heat in lane 5, Rachel Wingington. Her entry time of 2:18.19. But it'll be Michaela Lauren who will touch first in a time of 30.66. Followed by Annie Nicholson-Jaudoin and Maëlle Sanborn, tied here in second. This is the first of your circle seeded heats. Canadian Swimming Open record in this event held by Summer McIntosh that she set in Toronto 2 years ago, 2:08.19. After the first 100, Michaela Lauren still in the lead, 1:06.76. But Rachel Wigginton, strong backstroke leg to put herself in second, just 3/100ths behind Lauren, 1:06.79. Lauren still in the lead after the breaststroke leg, 1:48.08. Followed by Nicholson-Jaudoin, 1:50.88. Lauren has been in the lead since the beginning, but it's been a fight for second, third, and fourth between the girls in this heat, showing their strengths in this 200 IM. And it will be Michaela Lauren, 1:24.86 to take home this first of the circle seeded heats. And they're off for your second heat of the women's 200-meter IM. Fastest entry time in this heat, Ella Jansen from the Etobicoke Swim Club. She's entered in a time of 2:13.78. Paris 2024 Olympian Jansen will flip first at the wall after the butterfly in a time of 28.63. Followed closely by Jordan Richardson in a time of 29.33. Jansen, very versatile swimmer. She is strong across the board. Regardless of stroke, she will swim smooth and controlled, establishing her lead and maintaining it as she flips here after the backstroke. 1:02.91. followed by Camilla Blanchard, who has put herself in second place here, 1:05.62. Jansen extending her lead here after the breaststroke. She'll flip in a time of 1:44.14. Blanchard still strongly in second after a good breaststroke leg, 1:48.35. Jordan Richardson still in third, 1:49.06. Jansen coming home strong and controlled here, but the race for second is shaping up. Marley Windsor of Kisu coming down strong in this last 50 meters. And it'll be at the wall. Marley Windsor, 2:21.67 to come home second. Ella Jansen winning in a time of 2:15.28.
Our fourth and our final heat of the 200-meter individual medley for the women. Saw 2:15.28 done by Ella Jansen in the previous heat. That's our top time so far. Number 1 seed overall, Bella Sims from Michigan. She's the American NC2A champion this year in the 400-yard individual medley. Plenty of international experience as well. A member of American relay team 4x2. She's won a number of medals in that event. She gets through the first 50 meters at 28.54 on the butterfly. Just as fast as Jansen was in the previous heat. Sims coming in with a C time in this 200 medley of 2:13.57. A meet record is set by the world record holder Summer McIntosh. That was done 2 years ago at the meet in Toronto. Time of 2:08.19. And Sims through to the 100-meter mark. 1:02.49, just ahead of where Jansen was by about 0.4 of a second. She's followed by Rowan Bifford from the Alberta Marlins. Bifford having a good meet with all sorts of drops into the final, the 200-meter butterfly. Currently sitting second in this one, just ahead of Kelly Choi from the Kelowna Aquajets. Choi back in third in lane number 3. A strong breaststroker. We'll see if she can move up on the field as they make their way down to the 150-meter mark here in her last seat of the 200 IM. And it's going to be Sims first to the wall in lane number 4. 1:43.87 is the split time. Just ahead of where Jansen was in that previous heat. We'll see how much she pushes it here on the end. 2:15.28 done by Jansen stands as the number 1 time in this 200 medley for the women. And Sims looking very controlled and relaxed in lane number 4 as she comes to the finish. She's going to win our 4th and our final heat of the 200 IM for the women. And her winning time, 2:17.23. Bella Swims from Michigan here in the 200 IM. Result summary on the board now. Our top qualifier, Ella Jansen, 2:15.28. 2:24.47 qualifies for the A final. And time at 2:27.06. That gets you into our B final. We're good to go now with our next event. It is event number 28. This is the men's 200-meter medley. There are 3 heats in this event. This is heat number 1 of 3. Mr. Referee.
And they're off here for your first heat of the men's 200-meter medley. This is also your first circle-seated heat. Fastest entry time held by Laun Kim from Calgary Swimming. He's entered in a 2:03.20. Rabin Doman will flip first in a time of 26:35. Followed closely by Kim, 26:41. Doman, very strong backstroker, will try to keep his lead here. But Kim will make a charge in this backstroke leg. He'll flip first in a time of 58:13. Doman closely behind, also under 59, 58, 53. Both swimmers very, very strong performances in this opening 100 meters. Breaststroke leg could be telling as the breaststroke specialist will try to make a move here. But Kim and Doman solidly in the front. Kim will flip first here, 1:36.07. Followed by Rabin Doman, 1:36.89. This is Kim's heat as we enter the last 10 meters, about a body length ahead of Doman. He will touch first in a time of 2:05.94 to win this first heat of the men's 200-meter medley. On to our second heat here of the men's 200-meter medley. Top entry time held by Owen Eck. He's entered in a 2:02.22. He has the opportunity to challenge Tristan Yankovic's Canadian Swimming Open record 2:01.02 set in Toronto 2 years ago. Mais ça va être Loïc Trépanier du Club aquatique Saint-Eustache qui va toucher en premier après le premier 50 mètres, 26.82. Le seul nageur en bas de 27 ici, un très bon premier 50 papillons. Owen Eck sitting in second, 27.33. Followed by Reese Walda, 27.55. very close at the wall after the 50 backstroke. Both Eck and Walda 100 mid. Very strong backstroke splits by both swimmers. Eck pulling ahead here on the breaststroke leg. Now almost a body length ahead of the rest of the fields. As we hit the 150 mark, it'll be Eck 137.65. Followed by Aiden Lee, who also had a really strong breaststroke split, 139.15. Charlie Bourne sitting in third with a 140.96. Eck over a body length ahead of the rest of the field as we enter these last 10 meters. Looking really strong. This is his race to win. Aiden Lee solidly in second. Eck will touch 2:08.45.
We're going our third and final heat. We've got our Canadian record holder swimming in lane number 4, Finlay Knox. Time he did at the Paris Olympic Trials, 156.07. He was a finalist at those Olympic Games in this 200-meter individual medley. Won the World Championships earlier that season in February of 2024, and he is out strong in the middle of the pool. Also swimming that 100-meter butterfly earlier today. We'll see him in the final in that event as well. 25.86 is his split time. 2:05.94 done in the first heat by Lon Kim from the University of Calgary Swim Club. Stands currently is our fastest time in this event this morning. And Knox out and looking very strong through the butterfly and just about at the end of our backstroke leg. Very strong breaststroke, her himself. We'll see how he turns here at 158.33. Under the minute mark and on to the breaststroke. Meet record stands 2 years ago, a time of 2:01.02 by Tristan Yankovic. Second in this one is Liam Chu, Kelowna Aquajet swimmer in lane number 5, followed by Matthew Cow from the Pacific Key Wolves in lane number 3. And Chu having a very good breaststroke leg, actually gaining some ground down Knox as they come to the 150-meter mark, 135.5 for Knox. And 2.5 seconds back, but with a fast breaststroke split is Chu, 138.12. Liam Chu coming into this event. Does have his C time in this 200 IM down at 2:06.73. Now Knox extending that lead as he comes to the flags and to the finish. Going to win our third heat. His time, 2:05.57. Be the fastest time this morning in the 200 IM for the men. Results summary to follow shortly, and here it is. Top qualifier Finlay Knox, 2:05.57 to 11:78 gets you into the A final. And a time of 2:16.34 gets your swimmers into our B final tonight.
Coming up next is going to be event number 321. This is a women's para event. This is the 200-meter freestyle. We'll have one heat in this event. Madam Referee.
And we're off for this first and only heat of the women's 200 freestyle para multi-class in lane 2 from Whitby Swimming, Ali Van Wyck-Smart. Dans le couloir 3 du Centre de haute performance Québec, Clémence Paris. In lane 4 from Brock Niagara Aquatics, Emma Van Dyke. In lane 5 from the Barrie Trojan Swim Club, Kate Smith. In lane 6 from the Royal City Aquatic Club, Jordan Tucker. And in lane 8 from the Vernon Kokanee Swim Club, Bria Duncan.
Attention coaches, swimmers, we do have a disqualification to announce in event number 28. Once again, a disqualification in event number 28, which is the men's 200 medley. Heat 2, lane 2 has been disqualified. Last 50 with Emma Van Dyke here in our first heat. Looking at that wall, 1:51.60. She's got a 2:23.89 sea time. That's going to be Van Dyke in lane number 4, coming to the wall first. Our one and only heat of our women's para 200-meter freestyler time, 2:30.54.
have the event summary for event number 321, the 200-meter freestyle for the women para. Top 5 swimmers advancing to the final tonight. Next event now, it is event number 322. This is the men's 200-meter freestyle para multi-class. We'll have one heat in this event. Mr. Referee.
In this heat of the men's 200 freestyle para multi-class, in lane 3 from the Golden Horseshoe Aquatic Club, we have Antonio Fricano. In lane 4, du Centre de Haute Performance Québec, we have Nicholas Bennett, your S14 Canadian record holder. In lane 5 from Kisu Swim Club, we have Cameron Chambers. And in lane 6 from the Pacific Seawolves, we have Sebastian Masabi. Bennett flipping first and forming a solid lead in a time of 27:39. And he'll come into the halfway mark here, 57:32. His Canadian record time was set at the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. He will flip here for the 150-meter mark in 1:27:10. Less than 25 meters to go here. Nicholas Bennett will touch the wall, 1:57:76.
Event summary coming up for event 322, the 200-meter freestyle for our men. On the board now, your qualifiers swimming in the final tonight. On to our next event, which is event number 29. It's the women's 100-meter breaststroke. We do have 3 heats in this event. Madam Referee. We go in our first heat of the 200-meter breaststroke. Marley Monson's the top seed in lane number 4. She was second last night in the 200-meter breaststroke event. Monson from Grand Prairie entered in the seat time 109.72, the meet record set by Shona Bratton 2 years ago, a time of 107.40. Monson first of the 50 wall, 34.17 for her split. Tigert from Toronto Swim Club in lane number 2, also up with the leader. She split 34.5 on that first 50. Tigert got a C time down at 109.82. Short course seat time, but she is up with your leaders as they come to the finish. It is Monson in lane number 4. And Monson, a time of 111.57, takes heat number 1.
And they're off for this second heat of the women's 100-meter breaststroke. Fastest entry time, Paris 2024 Olympian Sophie Angus from the High Performance Center of Ontario. Her entry time is a 1:07.27. Coming into the wall here, Angus will flip in a opening 50 of 31.82. Angus almost 2 seconds ahead of all of the rest of the field, showing her breaststroke strength here as we come into the last 10 meters of this race. Isabel Angeloni from Ajax Aquatic Club moving up here in the last 5 meters, making a charge. Angus will touch in a time of 1:10.65, fastest time so far this morning.
Third and our final heat in the water for the 100-meter breaststroke for the women. We saw a solid swim by Angus at 1:10.65, her fastest time this morning. Her first 50 at 31.8, actually faster than the winning time in our 50-meter event on day number 1. Angus, the winner of the 200-meter breaststroke last night, sits in first, number 1 seed here in our third heat. Mail Sanborn from Pacific Coast has got an entry time of 1:10.78. It's Nina McEachern from Kisu, though, out in front, 34.50. Followed by Adina Rath in lane number 2. Rath from the Milton Marlins entered in a 1:13.94.
Sanborn still with the lead. McEachran in lane number 7 has moved up back into second place. Now it's going to be Sanborn Pacific Coast in lane number 5, time of 1:13.40, taking our third and our final heat of the women's 100-meter breaststroke. Results summary on the board. Sophie Angus, our top qualifier, 1:10.65, 1:15.02. Gets our swimmers into the A final. And a time of 1:17.13. Get our swimmers into the B final for tonight's women's 100-meter breaststroke. Up next, this is going to be event number 30, the men's 100-meter breaststroke. This event will have 3 heats. This will be heat number 1 of 3, Mr. Referee.
This is your first heat of 3 in the men's 100-meter breaststroke. This is your first circle-seated heat. Fastest entry time, Nicholas Duncan of Calgary Swimming. He's entered in a 1:03.08. Heat full of Calgary Swimming boys. Stephen Moore in lane 5, and Fangbo Liu in lane 7. It will be Nick Duncan flipping first, 30.59, followed closely by his teammate Stephen Moore, 30.91. Duncan taking the lead as we come into these last 10 meters. Really, really tight race for second. And it's going to be Duncan touching first, 1:05.44. This is your second heat of the men's 100 breaststroke. Fastest entry time held by Paris 2024 Olympian Apollo Hess from the High Performance Center, Ontario. He's entered with a 1:01.91. Touching the wall first in a very quick first 50, 29.63. Hess extending his lead now with 25 meters to go. It's about a body length and a half ahead of the rest of the field. As he gets to these last 5 meters, it's going to be Hess taking this second heat in a time of 1:03.11.
Draw from the men's 100-meter breaststroke. We saw a pretty fantastic swim in the 200 last night by lane number 4, Ollie Dawson. He was a 209.52. Cracking the top 10 in the world in that event. Just missed the Canadian record in the 50-meter breaststroke by 100th of a second on the first night. Managed to split a 59.0 on the exhibition relays, and he's out quick here, 28.22 through the first 50. Dawson coming in with a C time of 1:00.73, the meet record 1:00.91. That was set 2 years ago by Finley Knox at the meet in Toronto. Well, here we are, Dawson lengthening it out as he comes to the finish and looking very strong. Maybe Ollie Dawson at 1:00.42. Solid swim underneath his C time and a new meet record here at the Canadian Open Swimming event. 1:00.42, Ollie Dawson. Result summary on the board for event 30. Top qualifier Oliver Dawson and a new meet record 1:00.42. 1:06.64 makes the A final. And a time of 1:09.24 gets our swimmers into the B final tonight. On to our next event, which is event number 31. It's the 400-meter freestyle for our women. This will be the first of 4 heats. Madam referee.
This is your first heat of the women's 400-meter freestyle. Top entry time in this heat in lane 4 held by Abby Brown from the Thunder Bay Thunderbolts. She's qualified in a time of 4:35.86. New feature you'll be noticing that's recently been implemented is the lap counters in the 400-meter freestyle. They'll be at the far end of the pool, giving lap counts for these swimmers in the 400-meter freestyle. Taking the early lead is Paris 2024 Olympian Brooklyn Douthright. She's entered with no time in lane 7. Starts her 400 free in a split of 29.25. And she'll flip for the first 100 at 1:01.66. Douthright flipping at the 150, 1:34.47. Splitting under 33 seconds per 50 here. Douthright's opening 200, 2:07.76. Nice smooth opening 200 for her. Canadian Swimming Open record in this event held by Ella Jansen. It was set in Toronto 2 years ago, 4:11.54. Douthright flipping in first at the 250 meter mark, 2:41.57. Followed by Maya Moliner in a 2:49.49. As they come in for their last 100, you'll hear the bell. New bell laps have been established in the 400 meter freestyle. Brooklyn Douthright at the 300 meters, 3:15.86. Maya Moliner bringing in that kick here for the last 100. Douthright about 15 meters ahead of the rest of the field. Will flip in a time of 3:50.97. Last 50 to go. It's shaping up to be a good race here for second and third and fourth and fifth, as Olivia Golanowski trying to make a move, but it will be Brooklyn Douthright touching first, 4:25.30. And they're off for our second heat of the women's 400 meter freestyle prelim. Fastest entry time from the Vancouver Pacific Swim Club, Mu Qing Zhang. She's entered in a time of 4:30.15. Brooklyn Douthright swim in the last heat, 4:25. Let's see if any of these girls can make some drops and challenge that time. In this event, only 2 circle-seated heats. So we'll have to wait until the next to see our top 20. At the first 50 is Sophie Auger from Pointe Claire Swim Club, 30.37, followed closely by her teammate Michaëlle Pomerleau, 30.41. Coming into the wall at the 100 meter mark, these girls super tight, 1:04.2, 1:04.52 for the 2 Pointe Claire Swim girls. Etta McClellan in lane 2, in third, 2:05.05. Really dead even across the pool, still everybody really tight. Racing as we come up to this 150 meter mark. It'll now be Michaëlle Pomerleau taking first place. She splits in a 1:38.96, followed by her teammate Sophie Auger, 1:39.36. Etta McClellan making a little bit of a move here as we come into the 200 meter mark. But it'll be Michaëlle Pomerleau still flipping first, 2:13.74, followed very closely by less than 2/10 Etta McClellan, 2:13.88. She's picked up the pace here, outsplitting her last 50. As we flip now at the 250 meter mark, Etta McClellan has taken the lead for 48.80. Michael Pomerleau 249.14. Point Claire swimmers and coaches running up the side of the pool trying to cheer on their swimmers. And as we come in here for the bell lap final 100 meters, Ella McClellan flipping first. 3:23.85. Michael Pomerleau still in second. 3:24.58. And moving into third, Ruth Jakowiak. 3:25.38. Etta McClellan still in first under that 4-minute mark, 3:58.97. In second, Michael Pomerleau, 4:00.04, just over that 4-minute barrier. Etta McClellan slightly ahead as we come into these last 10 meters. Ruth Jaskowiak really making a move here. Who's it going to be for second? Michael Pomerleau 3:34.70 for second place, and Etta McClellan winning this heat 4:33.47. And we're off for our third heat of the women's 400-meter freestyle. Top entry time in this heat held by Abigail McLeod by the Winskill Dolphin Swim Club. She's entered in a 4:17.73. She'll flip first in a time of 30.22, followed closely by Marley Windsor of Kisu Swim Club, who flips in a time of 30.29. Abigail McLeod still in the lead, 1:03.11. Marley Windsor still within a second of her, 1:03.68. Brooklyn Douthwaite's time from Heat 1 of 4:25 is still the time to beat. With 5 laps to go, it'll be McLeod flipping first, 1:36.39, still followed by Windsor, 1:37.39. McLeod making a bit of a move here, about a body length ahead of her competitors. She'll flip in 2:10.13. The 200-meter mark, Brooklyn Douthart was a 2:07. So a little bit off that. Very close race for second and third. Marley Windsor and Ellie Wise, both 2:11.7s. Less than 1/100th separating the two swimmers, 1/10th separating the two swimmers. It'll be McLeod flipping first at the 250-meter mark in a 2:44.13. But second, third, girls splitting faster than they did on their previous 50, trying to reel her in, both at 2:45. Ellie Wise in lane 3 making a big move here as they come in for their bell lap. Wise taking control of this race. She flipped first for the 300 meters in 3:18.59, just 1/100th ahead of McLeod, who was 3:18.60. Wise already about a body length ahead of McLeod here, making up lots of ground in this last 100 meters. Just 1 lap to go as Wise flips. 3:50.79, outsplitting McLeod by 2 seconds, down to 32.250 split. This is an incredible last 100 for Ellie Wise. Last 10 meters as Wise powers home. She's going to finish in a time of light touch. She was probably closer to 4:22 that I was seeing when I was looking at the board. So she'll replace Brooklyn Douthart as our top seed. Abby McLeod, 4:27.28. There we go, Ellie Wise winning the heat, 4:22.66. And we're off for this last heat of the women's 400-meter freestyle. Top seed from the Toronto Swim Club, Paige Stepanoff. Her entry time, 4:17.41. But let's keep an eye out for lane 6, Delphine Pietara-Mercier de Neptune Natation. Elle a gagné le 800 mètres libre et le 1500 où elle a établi un nouveau record de l'omnium canadien et un nouveau record senior québécois. Hier, elle a gagné le 800 mètres des séries longues le matin. On a pris tous les temps du matin et on les a combinés avec les temps de la série rapide le soir. Et Pietara-Mercier, elle a gagné le 800 mètres libre. Et comme on a prédit, Pietara-Mercier, elle tourne en premier aux 50 mètres en 30-15. Et maintenant aux 100 mètres, 1:2:62. Pietara-Mercier is followed by Callie Cardiff. from Calgary Swimming. She flips in a time of 1:03:43. Miley Michaud of Pointe Claire, she's sitting in third, 1:03:58. Piatera Mercier, avec 5 longueurs à faire, continue à prendre la charge. Elle va virer avec un temps de passage de 1:35:44. Son temps pour son 50 mètres, 32:82, encore en bas de la barrière de 33 secondes. Au 200 mètres, Piatera Mercier, 1:08:87. Un peu en haut du temps de passage de Brooklyn Douthright de 2:07. Par contre, on sait que Piatera Mercier, elle a beaucoup d'endurance. Une nageuse de distance, elle a gagné les 2 épreuves de libre distance à date. Et on va la voir se démarquer ici dans son deuxième 200. Piatera Mercier au 250 mètres, 2:42:03. Son entraîneur lui indiquant d'ajouter un peu sur les jambes. Et on va entendre les sons de la cloche. Piatera Mercier fait son virage pour son dernier 100 mètres. Son temps de passage, 3:15:42. And now we can hear the bell lap for the rest of the field. Really tight here. Callie Cardiff solidly in second, flipping at 3:19:89. The rest of the field all within a second of each other. Quite a tight race here. Piatera Mercier flipping for her last 50. De retour en bas de la barrière des 33 secondes, 32:99. Un temps de passage de 3:48:41. Delphine Piatera Mercier va facilement gagner cette série. Très, très rapide. Ça charge jusqu'au mur. Elle va toucher en première avec un temps de 4:20:95. Pour aussi le temps le plus rapide de ce matin. She's followed by Callie Cardiff in second with a time of 2:28:15 and followed closely by Miley Michaud from Pointe Claire, 4:28:96. That was the last heat of your women's 400-meter freestyle. We'll wait for the results to be official and for the summary of the event to be posted. And there you go, the results are official. Delphine Piatera Mercier, fastest time in a 4:20 to make the A final, 4:32:51. And to make the B final, 20th place, 4:36:56.
Next event now is going to be event number 32. This is the men's 400-meter freestyle. You have 5 heats in this event. So heat number 1 of 5, Mr. Referee.
I can do. is our first heat of the men's 400-meter freestyle. Le temps d'inscription le plus rapide, Xavier Lavoie de Natation Gatineau. Son temps d'inscription 4:17:05. In lane 5, Luke Hazelton from Topico Swim Club also entered in 4:17. He's entered in 4:17:29. Xavier Lavoie est premier après le premier 50 mètres. 28:59. Followed by Luke Hazelton, 28:71. Couloir 4, couloir 5 ont le même temps d'inscription. Donc, je prévois qu'on va avoir une bonne course à date. Les trois nageurs vraiment tête à tête dans le virage ici. Luke Hazelton has taken the lead here. 1:00:00 for his first 100, followed by Xavier Lavoie in 0:00:52. Then Ruben Lee, 1:00:75. All three within 1 second of each other here. Five laps to go. It'll be Hazelton here, 1:31:73. And Ruben Lee now taking second, 1:33:28. Xavier Lavoie, troisième en 1:33:62. Luke Hazelton really taking charge here, coming in for the 200-meter mark, about a body length ahead. 2:03:85. Really bringing in the legs here. Powerful kick for a 400-meter. Ruben Lee looking calm and strong as he's sitting in second, 2:06:34. Xavier Lavoie pas loin derrière, 2:06:87. Hazelton will flip for the last 3 laps, 250-meter mark, 2:36:46. Still under the 33-second mark per 50. Flipping in a split of 32:61. Followed by Ruben Lee, 2:39:54. Xavier Lavoie, 2:40:06. Lavoie fait une petite remontée et est revenu côte à côte avec Ruben Lee. And as we hit the bell lap here, Hazelton flipping for the 300 meters in 3:09:98. Xavier Lavoie revenu en deuxième, 3:13:40. Followed closely by Ruben Lee, 2:13:57. These two have been almost neck and neck the whole entire 400, switching leads as they went. Different strategies, but really keeping this race interesting in this first heat of the men's 400-meter freestyle. Hazelton will flip for his last lap, 4:43:51. Xavier Lavoie flipping aux 350 mètres. Il va avoir le temps de passage le plus rapide par 50 ici, 33:18. Luke Hazelton solidly in first, mais Xavier Lavoie vraiment essaie de faire une remontée ici. Son temps de passage, 3:46:58. This is Hazelton's race here as he comes into the wall. 5 meters left to go. He will touch first in a time of 4:16:41. Suivi de Xavier Lavoie, 4:19:43. And Ruben Lee, 4:20:37.
Second heat of our 400-meter freestyle. Lane number 0 is Max Wu. Lane number 1, Charlie Bourne. Lane number 2,
Nolan Greenwood. Lane number 3, Matthew Cow. Lane number 4, Max Parmar. Lane number 5, Nicholas Stravinsky. Lane 6 is Connor Brown. Lane number 7, Tucker Bueller. And in lane number 8, William Rose Weston. Lane number 4, Parmar. He was 6th in the 1,500-meter freestyle on our first night. He's a top seed in the second heat, a time of 4:12.69. Tucker Bueller out in lane number 7 for the Olympian Swim Club. Charging out fairly quickly through the first 100. It is Bueller turning in a 58.77. He's got a C time down at 4:14.9. Luke Hazelton, the winner of our first heat from Etobicoke, 4:16.41. Still up by 2 seconds is Bueller in lane 7. Nicholas Kavinsky in lane number 5, sitting in second. Connor Brown in lane 6. Those are your top 3. As they make way to the halfway point, Bueller out by a body length. Turns to 2:02.99 at the halfway point. Second and a half up on Stravinsky in lane number 5, and right there as well, Connor Brown sitting in lane number 6. Parmar sitting back in 4th place in lane number 4 as we get moving on the back end of this race. Still up by a little bit more than a second. That lead starting to shrink though, and here comes Parmar making a move from the Kelowna Aquajets in lane number 4. He's gone from 4th up to 3rd and right even with 2nd as he come into the 300-meter wall. And Bueller still with the lead. Bells telling him 100 meters left to go. Bueller turns at a 3:09.42. 1 second back now is Max Parmar from the Kelowna Aquajets. A solid 32.5 on that last 50. Splitting the field by 0.6 of a second. Nicholas Skavinsky holding on and battling against the charge by Parmar in lane number 4 as they come up to the last turn. It's going to be Bueller in lane number 7. Turning at 3:42.7, 0.5 of a second back is Parmar in lane number 4. It's coming down to this last lap. And they should be right on that time, done in heat number 1 by Luke Hazelton. 4:16.41 stands as our fastest time after 1 heat. And now Parmar taking over the lead. Just up on Skavinsky in lane number 5 as they come to the finish. Going to come down to the touch. And hand on the wall first goes to Max Parmar, a time of 4:13.97. Number 3 in the water now. Evan O'Cleary is in lane number 0. Austin Heinbuck is in lane 1. Nicholas Purdy in 2. Alex Cameri swimming in lane number 3. Griffin Seguin in lane 4. Alex Yao, lane number 5. Matthew Marcella in lane 6. Kipton Fenneman in lane number 7. Joshua Perkins in lane number 8. And Cedric Goulet swimming in lane 9. Marcella out through the first 50, 28.24 ahead of the field. 4:13.97 done in the last heat by Kelowna's Max Palmer. That stands as our fastest time this morning. Field all pretty close together through the 100-meter mark. Advantage Marcella in 6, 59.4. 4/10 up on Alex Yao beside him in lane number 5. Marcella's seed time in this event, 4:09.89. Alex Yao in lane number 5 at a 4:08.64. The top seed from Barrie Trojans, that's Griffin Seguin. He's entered at a time of 4:08.28. One still chasing down Marcella. He is out by 7/10 of a second on the field through 150 meters. .202.60 is a split. 7/10 up on Yao. Back in third, it's lane number 7. So 31.5 on that 50. That's Kipton Fenneman. Fenneman swimming for the area Tallahassee Aquatic Club. Look at this race developing in 5, 6, and 7. Yao, Marcella, and Fenneman. Yao and Marcella tied to the 100th at that last turn, but it's Alex Yao now with the lead coming into the 300. Yao turning at 3:07.1. Fenneman at 3:07.8 into second, and Marcella into third now. A little bit more than 75 meters to go in this race. Last turn, 0.8 of a second separate their top three, 5, 6, and 7. Yao, Marcella, and Fenneman. Fenneman's got a seat time at 4:10.22. And here comes the finish. And Marcella answering back with a late charge here in the 400-meter freestyle. Trying to get his way back up to Yao, who is your race leader. He's first to the flags. And at the touch, it's going to be close, but it does go to Alex Yao by 1/10 of a second, 4:10.23, winning our third heat.
This is our second to last heat of the men's 400-meter freestyle. And our first circle seated heat. Top entry time in this, Oliver Blanchard of the Pointe Claire Swim Club, he's entered in a 3:57.32. He'd stacked with Pointe Claire swimmers, Blanchard in lane 4, Adrian Chung in lane 3. Then 8 and 9, Nicholas Moskin and Marcus Venditti, also both Pointe Claire boys. In lane 0, Carapaz coming in Nepean Canada Barracudas. He goes out strong, 27.56. Followed by Aiden Lee at the 100-meter mark. Carapaz still in the lead, 57.78. Followed by Lee, 58.32. Blanchard sitting in third, 59.17. And the rest of the field also sitting at 59. Very close race across the pool with lane 0 and lane 1 leading with 5 laps to go. Carapaz slipping first, 1:28.26. Aiden Lee following close behind, 1:29.54. Really strong first 200 from Carapaz, out under 2 minutes, 1:59.14. Very different strategies here. Carapaz going out strong. Let's see if the rest of the field can reel him and Aiden Lee back in the second 200. Carapaz still outsplitting everybody. He was a 30.88, only swimmer under 31 in that last 50, extending his lead as he flips here at the 250-meter mark. He will be 2:30.63. Jacques Harrison moving up into second from Crest Swimming, training at the High Performance Center Vancouver. He splits in a 30.46, almost a second ahead of the rest of the field. Noah Weaver also under 31. And as we hit this last 100 meters, Carapaz still in first, 3:02.79. Harrison in second, 3:03.09. He's splitting under 31. Looking at a negative split this 400 free. Blanchard in third, 3:04.62. As they come to the wall for this last 50, Harrison takes the lead, splitting 30.7, 1:33.79. Blanchard in third, 3:35.59. About 1/10 behind Carapaz, but strongly outsplitting him. You can see those guys that held back a little bit on the first 200 making a move here. It'll be a battle for second, but it'll be Jacques Harrison taking it, 4:03.49, followed by Noah Weaver and Olivier Blanchard.
Our fifth and our final heat of the 400-meter freestyle for the men. Swimming in lane number 0, Chase Saxon. Lane number 1, Diego Paz. Lane 2, Gabriel Ardenlow.
Lane number 3, Zach Bowie. Lane 4, Aiden Kirk. Lane number 5, Zachary Parisi. Lane 6 is Aiden Giorfi. Lane number 7, Alexandra Lepin. Lane number 8, Etienne Isakoff. And lane number 9, Jacob Askey. Kirk, the winner of the 800-meter freestyle last night, is out in front, 27.3. Actually, I guess Parisi out in front, 27.3. Just behind him is Aiden Kirk. Parisi was third in that 800 last night. He's got a seat time down at 3:57.59. So a 4:03 in that previous heat by Jacques Harrison. Stands as our fastest time this morning as Parisi is out. Second right now, it is Gabriel Ardenlau from Cobra swimming in lane number 2, followed then by Kirk in 4. Lepine in lane number 7, he was 5th in that 800. We've got Zach Bowie swimming in lane number 3. He was 8th in the 800-meter freestyle last night. Back recently from the Canadian Open Water Swimming Trials in Florida. Raced a 10K the other weekend. Parisi at the halfway point in lane number 5. He turns into 1:59.42. Kirk just a couple tenths of a second back from that, but now starting to pick up the pace. We saw that in his other events. Really working on descending that back end effort is Aiden Kirk in lane number 4, UBC Thunderbirds. His seat time in this event is a 3:53.68. Kirk just 27/100ths of a second behind Parisi as they go through the 250-meter mark, both at 2:30. Here come the bells, 100 meters to go. Parisi and Kirk turning right together just by 3/100ths of a second separating them. Our top 2 swimmers in third, it is Lepine down in lane number 7. He's just 2 seconds back. And Lepine coming in with his seat time of 4:03.67. Two swimmers in the lead. They should be able to challenge that time put up by Harrison in the previous heat. Again, it was a 4:03.49. Go at the finish. Kirk pulled ahead just of Parisi as they come to the finish. Aiden Kirk will be first to the wall in our final heat. His time 4:02.09. Second will be Parisi. Those are your top 2 going into the final tonight. 4:02.97 for Parisi. Swimmers may clear the pool. Event summary on the board now. 4:02.09 by Aiden Kirk will be our top qualifier. 4:07.68 gets into the A final. And into the B final will be 4:12.22.
Attention coaches and swimmers, we do have a short technical delay. Swimmers, you can relax before we get underway with our next event, the 50-meter freestyle. We are going to have some pad changes coming up. Once again, we have a short technical delay. Swimmers, you can relax. We will be changing a couple pads here at the finish end before we get underway with our next event. And here we go, the clock has started. We're going to start at 12:19 as we get going on this change in lane number 3 first. Saw 148 earlier this morning as one of our preliminary attempts at the pads. Right back again at lane number 3 once again. Looks like we'll be working on lane number 6. We're going to be doing 2 pads at the same time. Notice we've changed out the pit crew. And that first pad is out, coming out at the 40-second mark. There go the special high-speed sockets. Both working with the thin wall 10 mil sockets as we get going on the snap-on tools. The special 96 tooth ratchet built for speed. And the second pad is up. Moving from 6 to 3, and here comes a new pad in lane number 6. This is the first time we've ever seen an attempt at the double pad exchange here so far this weekend. Most of these exchanges have been 1 pad at a time. Previous record for a double pad exchange, we haven't seen that since 1978, was 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Right now they're sitting at about 2:25. Could be our second record on the pad exchange here this weekend at the 2026 Canadian Open. And there we go, 1 more bolt to go in lane number 6. A little bit of challenge with this last bolt, getting it down. Final check. And just getting a little bit more snug. They're turning at 3 minutes and 25 seconds. And there goes the check. Hands are up, 3:34. That is a new record for a double pad exchange. Well done, pit crew. As we're ready to move on to our next event, event 323. It is the 50-meter freestyle for our pair of women. We do have 2 heats in this event. This will be heat number 1 of 2.
And they're off for this first of two heats of the women's 50 freestyle para multi-class. In lane 1 from the Edmonton Piano Swim Club, Ivy Duduc. In lane 2 from the Barrie Trojan Swim Club, Alessa Darby. Dans le couloir 3 de l'équipe de natation Cowansville, Juliane Pagé. In lane 4 from the Northwestern Narwhals, Zoe Hogard. In lane 5 des Riverains, Anne-Frédéric Brisson. Dans le couloir 6 de Neptune Natation, Alison Gorbeil. In lane 7 from Vernon, Bria Duncan. And in lane 8 from Whitby Swimming, Ali Van Wixmart. And it's going to be Zoe Hogan who will touch the wall first in a time of 40.30. In the second heat of your women's 50 freestyle para multi-class, in lane 0, Shelby Newkirk. In lane 1, Ali Deal. In lane 2, Sophie Wood. In lane 3, Tiana Asala. In lane 4, Ariana Hunsaker. In lane 5, Alyssa Smythe. In lane 6, Marianne Leroux. In lane 7, Mary Jibb. In lane 8, Catherine McCurrick. And in lane 9, Arielle Bélanger. Ariana Hunsaker with a slight lead, your Paris 2024 Paralympian. She will touch the wall first in a time of 29:28. That concludes our second heat of the women's para 50-meter freestyle. We'll just wait for a moment as they consolidate the results of the two heats based on the para points. Going in first tonight will be Ariana Hunsaker, Centre de Haute Performance Québec.
Next event up now, it's the men's 50-meter freestyle, para event 324, and this will be the first of two heats. Mr. Referee.
Dans cette première série du 50 para chez les hommes, dans le couloir 2, Tyson Jacob. Dans le couloir 3, Sébastien Massabi. Dans le couloir 4, Antoine Saint-Germain. Dans le couloir 5, Charles Giamicheli. Dans le couloir 6, Léo Zhang. Et dans le couloir 7, Étienne Boutin-Côté. Saint-Germain prend l'avance ici. Plus que 5 mètres. Au mur, ça va être Charles Giamicheli, who will take this by time 31:71. This is our second heat of the men's 50 free para multi-class. In lane 0, Caleb Arndt. In lane 1, Antonio Fricano. In lane 2, Cameron Chambers. In lane 3, Guillaume Jacob Caillé. In lane 4, Jagdev Gill. Lane 5, Ken Stroud. 6, David Bursick. 7, Hunter Hellberg. And in lane 8, John Gillis. Jack Gill out ahead. He will touch the wall. 25-28.
Our event summary for men's para 50-meter freestyle. Top 10 swimmers advancing to our final tonight as we get ready for our final women's event of the morning. It's event number 33. This is the women's 50-meter freestyle. We'll have 4 heats in this event. The heat number 1 of 4, Madam Referee.
Top entry time in this heat in lane 5, Kaya Weaver from Island Swimming. She's entered with a 28.83. Slight lead here as they come down the last 10 meters of this 50 free. And at the wall, it'll be Kaya Weaver, 28.65. Swimmers, please clear the pool. This is your second heat of the women's 50 freestyle. Top seed from Calgary Swimming, Ranumi Ishwarage. Her entry time 25.59. Looking solidly in the lead here with 10 meters left to go. And at the wall, it'll be Ishwarage 25.95 to take this second heat of the women's 50 freestyle. Swimmers, please clear the pool. This is your third heat of the women's 50 freestyle. Top entry time, Léa Tiger from Toronto Swim Club. She's entered with a 25.51. Too close to call here at about 25 meters. Looks like Leah has maybe a slight lead as she comes into the wall. She will touch first in a time of 26.12. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Go. You keep your eyes on lane number 4, Taylor Rutt. She won this event here last year at a time of 25.57, the fastest 50 freestyle ever swum in this pool by a female swimmer. Meet record of 25.53. She's already got the 100-meter butterfly where she qualified first earlier today. Looking strong in lane number 4. The HBC Vancouver swimmer wins this heat, a time of 25:11, a brand new pool and meet record here in the women's 50-meter freestyle. Result summary on the board. Meet record, pool record, Taylor Ruck, 25:11 will go in as our top seed. 27:00 makes our A final. And 27:27 qualifies for the B. Next up is going to be event number 34. This is the men's 50-meter freestyle. Our 5 heats in this event. This is heat number 1 of 5, Mr. Referee.
And they're off for this first heat of the men's 50 freestyle. Top entry time in lane 4, Chase Saxon from Island Swimming in a time of 25:27. Off to a good start here in this first heat of the 50 free. 10 meters to go, about half a body length on the rest of the field. He will touch the wall first in 24:87. Swimmers, please clear the pool.
Our second heat is in the water. Top seed in lane number 4, Kingston Hitchcock. Red Deer Catalina swimmer entered with a short course time at 23:37. 24:87 done in our first heat. And we'll keep our eye on lane number 1, charging through the outside. But it is Arthur Giarlano in lane number 5, a time of 24:41. Winning heat number 2 for Nepean, Canada. Swimmers, you may clear the pool.
This is the first of the circle-seated heats in the men's 50 freestyle. Top entry time, Eric Ginsberg from the Ramac Aquatic Club entered into 22:81. Have Acevedo, Canadian Olympian, in this heat as well. Eric Ginsberg with a slight lead as we come into the last 5 meters. He'll touch first in a time of 23:20.
Swimmers, you may clear the pool. Here we go in our penultimate heat. Ole Idem from Michigan is the top seed. Already smashed the meet record this morning in the 100-meter butterfly. He's entered in a time of 22:42. Meet record at 21.94, set 2 years ago. The pool record set in 2018 by Yuri Kissels at 22.06. And here we go at the touch. It's a light touch in 4. I'll wait and see what the time is that comes up on the board. Bowling item from Michigan, first to the wall. Swimmers, you may clear the pool. Just waiting for that time to be corrected in lane number 4. While we wait for that, we do have a disqualification to announce. In event number 33, heat 4, lane number 9 has been disqualified. Once again, event 33, heat 4, lane 9 has been disqualified.
This is the last heat of the men's 50 freestyle. In lane 4, Yuri Kissel, Canadian Olympian, holds the pool record here. Out in front, next to him, Antoine Sauvé du Club Aquatique Montréal. And Eric Moore from the Calgary Swim Club up in front with the boys. Antoine, pretty sure it was a light touch as well there from what I saw. Yuri Kissel touched first, so we'll see when the times get updated. But on the board right now, they have Antoine Sauvé, 23:10, touching first. Swimmers, you may clear the pool. We'll wait for these results to be official and for the consolidated results to show up on the board. So we have the corrected time for Yuri Kissel, 23:13. Antoine Sauvé did get him at the touch. And we'll wait just one moment to get all of the results consolidated.
There's a bit of a technical issue upstairs before we can scroll with the results. That is our last race of the night, the morning, last race of the session here on day number 3, the 2026 Speedo Canadian Swimming Open. I'd like to thank all of our volunteers and officials for your hard work this morning. We have one session left to go. Later on this afternoon, 3:30 warm-up for a 5 p.m. start here on day 3. Plenty of exciting racing to come. We saw a few meet records broken this morning, a few pool records as well. And we do have one exhibition relay happening at the end of the night. It is the mixed medley relay. We have a disqualification to announce.
have disqualification to announce from event number 34, this 50-meter freestyle. Event 34, heat 4, lane number 8 has been disqualified. There we go with the results summary on the board for event number 34, the 50-meter freestyle. Anton Sauvé stands as the top qualifier, 23:10, 23:68, gets into our A final. And 24:27 into the B final. This does bring us to an end of this session here on day number 3.
Swimming Canada would like to thank our partners. Natation Canada tient à remercier ses partenaires. The Government of Canada, le gouvernement du Canada. Speedo, your trusted swim partner from your first splash through every stroke. Speedo, votre partenaire de natation de confiance, de votre premier saut dans l'eau à chaque traction. Bell for better and all the ways it gives back to
We get all of our
communities
officials
and
back
support
to
across
the
Canada.
team photo.
Mieux pour tous et toutes les
Once
façons
again,
dont
we're
Bell
going to have all of our
redonne aux
officials on the
communautés et au
deck
sport
behind
dans
lane
tout
number
Canada.
4 for a team photo before you
Chicken
leave for the
Farmers
session.
of Canada, proud supporter and official protein of Swimming Canada. Les producteurs de poulets du Canada, fiers partisans et protéines officielles de Natation Canada.